Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. How are you today, guys? We are going to talk about how to write the methodology chapter in a script C. Okay, let's start. Okay, guys. To understand how to write the methodology chapter more easily, I would like to use the student's real script C. Untuk mempermudah memahami bagaimana kita bisa menulis chapter methodology, saya akan memberikan contoh dari skripsi seorang mahasiswa ya. The title of her skripsi, judul dari skripsinya adalah The Implementation of Learning Management System at an English Education Department, a Student's Voice. Oke, jadi implementasi dari Learning Management System atau LMS ya, pada sebuah program studi pendidikan bahasa Inggris ya, student voice ya, dari perspektif mahasiswa. Oke, coba step-stepnya bagaimana kita menulis research methodology. How are the steps to write research methodology? Lihat yang sebelah kanan, yang biru ini ya. And the first step is explain that your chapter will discuss the methodology of the research and strategies of the research as well as the data collection strategies. Jadi jelaskan bahwa chapter ini akan mendiskusikan metode research Anda, kemudian strategi yang akan Anda gunakan, juga strategi di dalam mengumpulkan data. Okay, so this is the first step. For example, take a look at here. This chapter discusses the methodology used by the researcher in the study. Besides, this chapter explores how to conduct the research and collect the research data. Oke. Kemudian yang kedua, lihat di sini. Explain the number of subsections you have in this chapter. Usually, in the methodology chapter, you have the following section. Jadi jelaskan subsection yang ada di dalam chapter methodology ini. Biasanya chapter methodology itu mengandung hal-hal sebagai berikut ya. The first is research design, research setting, research participants, research instrument, data collection method, data collection procedure, and data analysis. Jadi isinya adalah ini, oke? Nah, cara ngomongnya bagaimana? Cara nulisnya? Lihat di sini ya. Okay. There are 7 subsections, namely research design, research setting, research participants, research instrument, data collection method, data collection procedure, and data analysis. Okay. And the next step selanjutnya adalah explain that the literature and theories will be included to support the methodology. Jadi jelaskan bahwa chapter methodology ini akan di-support ya dengan literatur dan teori ya. Okay, next guys. Okay, let's talk about research designs. Okay, bagaimana kita menulis research design ini? Step yang pertama, lihat di sini. Okay. Explain the aims of the research. Jelaskan tujuan dari research. Tujuan dari research ini dalam contoh research ini adalah the first is to explore the advantage of the learning management system implementation, and the second is to investigate the challenge of the LMS implementation. Oke, cara nulisnya bagaimana? Coba lihat contohnya di sini ya. Okay, the aim of this research was to explore the student's voice on the implementation of the learning management system at ELET, an ELET, English Language Education Department. The researcher explored the advantage of the LMS implementation for the ELET students. Besides, the researcher investigated the challenge of the LMS implementation faced by the ELET students. Jadi ini kurang lebihnya menjelaskan tujuan ya. Oke, tujuan dari research. Oke. Jadi pertama menjelaskan the advantages of LMS implementation, kemudian the challenge of the LMS implementation. Alright? Oke. Kemudian yang kedua, apa yang harus dilakukan? Explain the use of a certain method, for example, qualitative method. Explain the reasons why you use such a method. Jadi, jelaskan tentang penggunaan metode research tertentu ya. Dalam hal ini misalnya qualitative methods ya. Kemudian yang kedua, jelaskan reasons ya, alasan mengapa Anda memakai metode tersebut. Oke. Contohnya lihat yang kuning di sini ya. This research used the qualitative method. According to Creswell, the qualitative research is used for the researchers who need to explore the phenomenon from the participants' opinion. Oke, ini jelaskan bahwa qualitative method akan digunakan. Kemudian juga didukung oleh literatur. According to Creswell nih ya, qualitative research itu apa dijelaskan di sana. Oke, right. Kemudian juga alasan kenapa menggunakan qualitative research. The first reason of the use of qualitative method was because it was suitable with the aim of this research, namely to explore the student's voice on the LMS implementation at ALET. Additionally, Creswell said qualitative research is suitable to address a research problem which needs to be explored. Okay. Okay, understand guys? Right. Next. Selanjutnya adalah explain the research design. For example, descriptive qualitative research design. Jelaskan research design yang digunakan. Misalnya dalam hal ini adalah descriptive qualitative design. Kemudian explain the aims of this design using a reference. Kemudian jelaskan dari tujuan dari penggunaan research design ini. Gunakan referensi. Kemudian explain the reasons why you use this design. Oke, jelaskan alasan mengapa Anda menggunakan research design ini. Oke. Take a look at these examples. In order to obtain more detailed information of this phenomenon, the descriptive qualitative research design was used in this research. Okay. Lambert asserts that descriptive qualitative research aims to understand the detailed information of the phenomenon. Hence, the descriptive qualitative research was used in this research in order to gain more detailed information on students' voice of LMS implementation at ALET. Okay, right. Okay, I think tidak ada kesulitan ya. You don't have any difficulties in understanding this, I think. All right, and then next, we will be talking about research setting. Kita akan berbicara tentang research setting. Okay, the first step is explain a setting of place. Yang pertama adalah jelaskan tempat di mana Anda melakukan research. Explain the place where you conducted the research and explain reasons why you conducted the research in that place. Jelaskan juga alasan-alasan mengapa Anda itu melakukan penelitian di tempat tersebut. Okay. The second one, contohnya dulu ya. Okay, this is the examples. The research was conducted at an English Education Department ALET of a private university in Yogyakarta. Okay, research ini diselenggarakan di sebuah jurusan atau program studi bahasa Inggris di sebuah universitas swasta di Jogja. The researcher conducted this study because most of the lecturers had implemented the learning management system, especially Moodle. Jadi alasannya kenapa dilakukan di sini penelitiannya karena most of the lecturers, sebagian besar dari dosennya itu sudah mengimplementasikan LMS ya, terutama Moodle. Okay. Additionally, the university had provided grants for the lecturers to use e-learning platform for their courses, and the platform used was Moodle. The platform used was Moodle. Dan dosen-dosen di kampus tersebut itu mendapatkan grant ya, semacam hibah e-learning ya. Okay. Because this research focused on the application of Moodle, this institution was the best place to conduct the study. Karena research ini fokusnya adalah aplikasi dari Moodle LMS itu, maka institusi ini paling cocok ya digunakan untuk melakukan research. Okay. And then the second one, explain the setting of time. Yang kedua, jelaskan waktu penelitian ya, pelaksanaan penelitian. Pertama, explain how long you conducted the research. Berapa lama Anda melakukan penelitian? Explain how long you collected the data. Oke, jelaskan berapa lama Anda mengumpulkan data. Kemudian explain how long you wrote the research report and the discussion. Kemudian jelaskan berapa lama Anda menulis research report dan discussion. Okay, take a look at these examples, how you can write it. This research was conducted in 2 months, studied by collecting the data until writing the results. Jadi 2 bulan ya, dimulai dari mengumpulkan data, kemudian menulis hasil ya. The researchers spent 1 week to collect the data from the participants and 3 weeks for analyzing the data on August 2019. Kemudian penelitinya itu 1 minggu ya, memerlukan 1 minggu untuk mengumpulkan data dari partisipan dan 3 minggu untuk menganalisa data pada bulan Agustus 2019. In addition, the researcher wrote the report and discussion for a month on September 2019. Kemudian peneliti itu menulis laporan penelitian ya dan discussion itu selama 1 bulan pada bulan September 2019. Yes. Next guys, we'll be talking about research participants. Kita akan bicara tentang research participants. Okay. The first step, okay, explain who will be the participants and how many participants they will be. Jelaskan siapa yang akan menjadi ya research participant, peserta penelitian, dan berapa banyak peserta penelitian tersebut. Kemudian explain the sampling techniques to select the participant. Jelaskan sampling tekniknya. Oke, kemudian explain the criteria that will be used to select the participants. Kriterianya apa untuk memilih partisipannya? For example, okay, take a look at this. The participants of this study were 3 allied English Language Education Department students. Jadi ada 3 mahasiswa allied, okay. To focus on choosing the participants, the researcher used purposive sampling. Jadi teknik untuk mengambil partisipannya itu dengan purposive sampling. Kemudian jelaskan purposive sampling itu apa dengan referensi. According to Cohen-Manion and Morrison, the purposive sample is used for particular purposes. Jadi purposive sampling itu untuk particular purposes, untuk tujuan khusus. As a part of the purposive sampling, the criteria for the participants were used in order to make sure the data gathered from the participant could answer the research questions. Okay. Jadi sebagai bagian dari purposive sampling, kriterianya ditetapkan ya, agar Agar bisa meyakinkan bahwa data yang terkumpul itu bisa menjawab pertanyaan penelitian. The second one, guys, explain the criteria of the participants to be selected. Okay. Jadi jelaskan kriteria untuk menyeleksi atau memilih participants itu ya. Take a look at these examples, how you can write. Okay, there were 2 criteria which the researcher used to determine the research participants. Ada 2 kriteria yang digunakan untuk memilih participant. As the first criterion, the students should be from batch 2015 because they had already joined all the courses which implemented LMS. Yang pertama, kriteria yang pertama, ini yang dipilih adalah student dari angkatan 2015 karena mereka sudah mengikuti mata kuliah yang menggunakan LMS. Okay. As the second criterion, okay, ini harusnya for the second criterion, yeah, the students had joined at least 4 courses which implemented LMS because they have enough experiences in using LMS. Okay. Jadi at least mereka sudah mengikuti 4 courses. Okay. Itu artinya bahwa mereka itu sudah berpengalaman menggunakan LMS. The third step, guys, in writing about research participants, Explain the strategies to choose the participants. Jadi jelaskan strategi untuk memilih participant. Okay, take a look at this. To choose the participants, the researcher asked 3 elite female students of batch 2015. Jadi 3 female elite students. The researcher asked them how many courses which implemented LMS that they had taken. Mereka ditanya berapa banyak mata kuliah, yang mereka ambil yang menggunakan LMS. Then they were asked if they had the willingness to be the participants of the research. Kemudian mereka ditanya apakah mereka mau mengikuti partisipasi dalam research ini. Alright? Okay, good. Next. And then explain that the pseudonym will be used to ensure confidentiality. Jadi menggunakan pseudonym. Pseudonym itu apa, guys? Pseudonym itu adalah nama samaran ya. Untuk apa? Untuk menjaga kerahasiaan. Use reference to explain it. Jadi gunakan referensi untuk menerangkan tentang pseudonym ini ya. Kemudian explain the 3 participants and information about them. Kemudian jelaskan 3 peserta penelitian itu dan informasi tentang mereka. Examples. In addition, the researcher changed the participant's name, which was suitable to the criteria of this research, into pseudonyms such as Daenerys, Sansa, and Cersei. Jadi nama samarannya adalah ini ya untuk menjamin kerahasiaan peserta. The researcher used pseudonym because the researcher intended to keep personal information of the participants. According to Allen and Wiles, a pseudonym is unreal name which is often used by the researcher or writer to personally keep participants' privacy. Jadi untuk menjaga privacy participants ya menurut Allen and Wiles. The first participant was Daenerys as an elite student of batch 2015 and had joined 5 courses which had implemented the LMS. Peserta pertama itu dideskripsikan Daenerys ya. Itu sudah mengikuti berapa? 5 mata kuliah yang menggunakan LMS. And the second participant was Sansa as an elite student of batch 2015. Who had joined 4 courses which had implemented the LMS. Kemudian yang kedua juga digambarkan itu ya Sansa. Then the last participant was Cersei, who was also an elite student of batch 2015, and she had joined 4 courses which had implemented the LMS. Peserta terakhir Cersei, digambarkan juga. Thus, the researcher used those pseudonyms in order to keep participants' privacies and identities. Jadi gunanya menggunakan pseudonym itu adalah untuk merahasiakan atau memberikan privacy kepada participants. Right? Okay, guys. That's all. And see you in the next meeting entitled Data Collection Method. Kita masih membahas di lain presentation ya untuk chapter methodology ini. Jadi bisa langsung dibuka yang pembahasan tentang data collection method ya. Terima kasih. Thank you for watching and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.